Hello, today is Thursday, the 30th of August, 2012. Before we get into today's silver action, as well as a two-game parlay on the silver chart, let's first talk about the options comparing, of course, within sports betting. We'll get into the right-hand side after we get into the left-hand side, which are option bets for SLV. That is an ETF which tracks or mirrors the price of silver fairly okay. A call option is that for betting for the price to go higher than the number stated. The number I have stated is $50, and the cost is 69 cents a share. Now, generally speaking, if you see the cost under a dollar like this, then the odds are stating that it's not going to go over it. So they are trying to tell you that the price action will not go well above $50 an ounce in the next year and a quarter. On the put side, that is betting it to go lower. They're not saying that it's going to go under this price. As far as March of next year, which is a little over half a year, they're trying to tell us that it's not going to go over 38 or really even under 24. Side notes, the current spread on silver shows SLV closing August the 29th at 29.75 and the silver COMEX price showing that of 37 for a difference of 3.19%, which is the price difference divided by the price of SLV. The spread in 2010 was closer to 2.2% and 2.8% a few months ago. This is all part of the paper game, maybe digital game if you want to call it that, but it's quite frankly a dangerous one to say the least. Now, as far as the sports betting odds, notice I got market betting odds and sports betting odds. They call these futures, and it's not team ins, it's team wins. But these are the bets that I like for the year. Buffalo 8 wins to go under. Your risk is on the right-hand side. Your reward is on the left-hand side. So you're risking 20 to win 27. Carolina to go over 7.5 wins. Green Bay over 12. Kansas City over 8. Miami under 5 or under 7.5 despite having terrible VEG. They're probably the worst team in the league, and they have no shot, in my opinion, of not having a losing season, which is what the bet is. Pittsburgh under 10 wins. Tampa Bay over 6. As far as other futures, Division Conference Super Bowl, Baltimore to win the division at 13-10. Carolina to win the division at 6-1, to win the conference at 45-2. Kansas City to win the division 67-20, and Seattle to win the division 10-1. Side notes, the lines are from thegreek.com. This company states that their page is gambling and not investing. Some or all sites that contain the bets shown, this is a spelling mistake, containing the bets shown on the left will not state their online site is gambling. Again, what's important to note is that these options are telling us that it's not going to go there, but also in 2011 they said it wasn't going to 50 or 40 either, so put that in mind. All right, so now let's get on within the silver chart. This is the 31-hour time frame. It's going to keep moving up, 31, 32, and so on. As I'm going to keep putting the February highs on the left-hand part of the screen. Of course, this trend line that I talked about, the break of this is so passé now. And of course, it has managed to get above this 30 level without any resistance. There has pretty much been 4 periods, 5 whatever days, of holding above this level, which is a very bullish situation, because when you have a clear breakout above this, the 3 things that I'm looking for is A, is this going to be a pierce above and then go lower? It's looking less and less like that's to be the case, because usually when it's a pierce above, it's not going to take long before it breaks down. 2, is it going to have a fast move up to this level? That can still be the case, but now it's looking more likely that the third one is that it will find support within this level first. The next chart will be the daily chart, which is pretty much close to the same thing, except it doesn't show quite as many days. What's interesting to note is that if we look at the 18 average of highs, it's in at 29.96. Also, if we look at Fibonacci retracement, if you take the high of 31.27 and divide it by the low of 26.12, and then put it to the power of the 76.4% or 0.764, which is the same as a 23.6% retracement, that is also in at the 30 level. So the statements that I stated yesterday about moving up to the 32.5, pretty much the top part of this range in here, is still in play, as the 30 level is that significant level. A clear breakdown below that, that play is done. But the parlay would be to first hit that 30 level and then move up to 32.66. So let's see how this would play out on the hourly time frame. And this hourly time frame is as of 2 p.m. Eastern time today. Alrighty, so here we have it. We have this high of 31.27, and this has been this weekly correctionary phase that broke down below the support level of around 30.55, 30.60 earlier today. Due to this breakdown, it's looking more and more likely as if it will have that of a test of 30. I think that is a very strong area where the market should bounce from that point. But I think before it starts breaking down, it's probably going to have a test of this significant 30.60 level. It's in it at exactly 30.62. So what I would be expecting as the most probable odds to occur is for the price action to move up to here, then fall back down to 30, and then wake its way up to 32.5 to 32.75 as the best probabilities. Of course, there is no guarantee, and if you are playing the paper digital game, the likely scenario might be to enter short at this point with the stop above this high, playing for 30, and then going long at 30 as far as the stop on that situation there. Maybe, well, definitely somewhere below this line in here for a play up in here. Also, if your risk is quite high, let's see, you'd be buying, this would be your reward, and your risk would be something like this. So you'd be risking something like 2 to win 1 or 5 to win 2. You'd be risking 2 to win 5, something in that area. But that all depends on how one would depend on playing it. And of course, there's a lot of people watching this video who doesn't care about that type of stuff. And quite frankly, I don't blame you, as you have a good reason for buying silver, good reason for buying gold, and quite frankly, that reason might be that you have an idea of how fiat currency is created and the implications it has, but even furthermore, the fact that it was a mystery for dozens and dozens of years that no one even knew what a fiat currency was, let alone its implications, and today that information is spreading more and more wildly. Just before I leave, I'm just looking at this trend line, and I just want to draw this in, draw a resistance line, and most likely even a second line above that. So let me just draw a matching line. I just have to say this would be the case, and just see if it happened to reach the level. Because what I like to do is take the exact same rate of ascent. Obviously, it's going to be below it. Maybe the trend line on the resistance side should be a little bit higher. But there we go. Thank you for tuning in.